Good morning, Europe. It is Wednesday, the 24th of August. I'm Helena Humphrey. Here are your headlines.
Ukraine celebrates 31 years of independence, but remains on high alert. 6 months to the day since the start of the war, President Zelensky warns that Russia is preparing brutal strikes. The United Nations issues an urgent plea to Moscow and Kiev: stop all fighting around the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant or risk a potentially catastrophic disaster. And it's a break from the war. Greece hosts summer holiday camps for children from the Ukrainian city of Bucha.
Locals enjoy Kyiv's latest tourist attraction, burnt-out Russian tanks. But the Ukrainian capital is today on high alert and with public gatherings banned. It may be a national holiday celebrating independence from Moscow, but people are bracing for more Russian attacks. It's 6 months since the Kremlin started its war with its neighbour. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Independence Day would be marked with awards given to individuals from all walks of life who supported Ukraine's troops. But underlying his nightly address, the message was of caution.
The armed forces of Ukraine, our intelligence, special services will do everything to protect people as much as possible, and we will certainly respond to any manifestation of Russian terror. But please follow the safety rules strictly tomorrow. Please observe the curfew. Pay attention to the air sirens.
But 6 months of war have taken their toll, and in the southern Ukrainian town of Mykolaiv, residents reflect on their losses.
I'm tired of this. I want peace and quiet, certainty. A quiet life and to plan for the future. And I believe that it will end soon. We will win.
Many people I know are fighting. Many are dead already. Many are being treated and won't return to the front line because they've lost their limbs. It's hard and scary.
In separatist-controlled Donetsk, the Russian authorities reported 4 deaths in the latest shelling, blaming the targeting of civilians with Western-supplied weapons.
The UN said it remains gravely concerned about the situation in and around the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant in southeastern Ukraine. Both Russia and Ukraine accuse each other of shelling the site, sparking warnings of a possible nuclear catastrophe. At an emergency session of the UN Security Council, called by Russia, both parties were urged to cease all military activities around the plant to enable its continued operations.
The facility must not be used as part of any military operation, and an agreement on a safe parameter of demilitarization to ensure the safety of the area should be reached. Regrettably, despite numerous calls and appeals, instead of de-escalation, we continue to see the almost daily reports of alarming incidents involving the plant.
The UN's nuclear watchdog has renewed its request to assess the safety and security at Europe's largest nuclear plant. Preparations for the mission are said to be proceeding, and Russia's UN ambassador said the trip should take place in the near future.
Latvia has started work to dismantle a Soviet-era monument that commemorates the Red Army's victory over Nazi Germany. It was built in 1985 when Latvia was still part of the Soviet Union. In the light of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the Latvian government has introduced a law requiring such monuments to be pulled down.
Of course, this is a question of values. And for Latvians, this monument symbolizes Latvia's occupation after the Second World War. And after Russia's invasion in Ukraine, we can't tolerate it anymore.
But not everyone agrees with the new policy. There's a large group of ethnic Russians living in Latvia. On Russia's annual Victory Day holiday in May, they always gather in front of the monument to lay flowers and hold concerts in memory of the soldiers who died in the fight against Nazi Germany. Demolishing the monument has upset many people.
I think that Latvia is a land where Latvians and Russians live together. Riga is half Latvian, half Russian, and I think what one part of the country should respect also the rights of the other part.
Last week, Estonia removed a similar monument.
Twitter's former head of security has turned whistleblower and accused the company of negligence in its handling of user information, security, and the number of fake and spam accounts that are on its platform. The accusations come amid Twitter's legal battle with Elon Musk after he dropped his plans to purchase the company for €44 billion. Twitter has denied the accusations. A further 8 grain silos at Beirut port toppled on Tuesday, succumbing to damage from the devastating 2020 explosion and marking the 3rd such collapse in a month. It triggered protests from relatives of the 200 or more people who died in the blasts. The families say they want the remaining block to be preserved as a memory of their loved ones. Large swathes of Scotland are facing overflowing bins after talks failed to halt further strikes. Bin workers in around a dozen council areas, including Glasgow, will follow staff in Edinburgh who have already walked out over a bitter pay dispute. A 12-day strike was called 8 days ago, and locals have complained of rat infestations due to mountains of food waste. The UK government said the number of migrants crossing the English Channel from France reached record highs on Monday, as over 1,200 people made the journey in small boats. It's the highest daily total since records began in 2018. Authorities report well over 22,000 crossings have been made this year alone. The crisis has been an uncomfortable one for the UK government, which promised tighter border controls after leaving the European Union. Tensions have risen between London and Paris, with Downing Street accusing France of not doing enough to stop the crossings. Far-right leader Giorgia Meloni has launched her bid to become Italy's first female prime minister in next month's elections, rallying supporters by asking, "I'm ready, the question is, are you?"
I'm not afraid, I'm ready to lead this battle. The question is, but are you ready? Is this nation ready to question itself on the reasons why a movement like Fratelli d'Italia is talked about every day as if it were monstrous in the newspapers, while it's estimated to have the consensus of 25% of Italians?
During a nearly hour-long speech, Meloni slammed an overreaching European Union, globalisation, coronavirus restrictions and mass migration. She's fighting the election as part of a coalition with Matteo Salvini's Anti-Immigration League and Silvio Berlusconi's Forza Italia, but her party is currently eclipsing them in opinion polls. The snap vote was called in late July after Prime Minister Mario Draghi's coalition government collapsed, filling the void along with Meloni's Brothers of Italy party, on the left, the Democratic Party. An Italian centre-left alliance broke down less than a week after coming together.